Hey everyone, it's Synth Designer here, back at it with some sound design basics. Today, I wanted to talk about filters. Now, as a beginner or as someone a little bit more advanced, you may have heard the term subtractive synthesis. That's essentially what we're doing today, in a very basic sense. Subtractive synthesis is basically just taking sounds away from the fundamental sound. So you can hear a saw wave here, and when I turn on a basic low filter here, you take away some sounds. So before I get right into it, I just wanted to remind people, if you want to see more of these sound design basics video, head over to the description and you'll find all my videos there, and you can find a lot more than just the basics, but this is part of the series and hopefully you're following along. So what are we talking about when we talk about filters? Today I'm using Serum, but you can follow along on any synth. The reason why I like Serum is because it's so visual, and I'll actually show you a couple other synths later on that are free and one that's actually native to FL Studio. But for now, I just wanted to show you how it works through Serum. So when we're looking at filters, there's a few common ones, and I'm going to stick to those today because I don't want to get too complicated. The first is the low pass filter. Let's just look at it from a visual standpoint. You can see here, this blue section here is essentially what's being taken out, and this section here is what you can hear. So think about it just in that visual sense. Here is the cutoff filter. Actually, why don't we zoom in here? Here's the cutoff filter. So as I move this up or down, that is what you'll be able to hear. So let me play a note. So you can hear it getting brighter as I open up the cutoff filter. And we can do the same thing but backwards here when we do the high pass filter. So again, here is the section that is being heard, and everything here is being taken out. So you can see these are very fundamental to sound design. You need to have certain frequencies cut off and taken away if you're trying to design certain sounds, especially more on the low side. You'll find the low pass filter used probably the most when it comes to basic sound design, because we're trying to take away some of those harsher upper harmonics, especially when we're dealing with something like a saw wave. So that's just the very basic there of a cutoff filter. Why don't we go over and check out another synth that's less visual but acts on the same principle. So here we have GMS, a stock synth for FL Studio. Works basically the same way, and I'm not going to get into all the different knobs here, but just wanted to show you it's on an initialized preset, and you can do that by going to the banks and then user. Afterwards, you get this very basic saw default. So here's how it sounds, and here's the filter. So as we move this cutoff, we get less of the upper harmonics, and you can see it's defaulted to the low pass. So that's basically the same. So just wanted to take you back to Serum here and show you a few little things that work alongside the filter. So you'll see this little resonance knob, and this is a crucial knob for creating different types of sounds, especially retro bass sounds. You'll hear what I mean soon. As I move this knob, you can see what's passing through. As the blue section grows, we can see what is being canceled out, essentially. This little peak here is now traveling through. So this little peak changes the sound dramatically. Here's how it sounds. You can hear that harsh sound all of a sudden coming through, because all of a sudden what's passing through here is this little peak as well, not just that rounded section that we had before. I'll show you some examples in a minute, but I just wanted to show you how it works first. So you can hear there's that kind of wah sound to it, and that's what essentially the resonance does. Now the drive and the fat here are specific to Serum. There's obviously drive knobs everywhere on different synths, but this is basically to add upper harmonics as well. So you can see that opening up a little bit more. Also makes it quite a bit louder. I don't want to dwell too much on that, but basically you can see how all these things affect it. The pan knob is very basic. It's essentially letting things pass either left or right. The mix is actually a dry wet mix knob, so it will let certain things pass through. So if you don't want it completely cut off, you can adjust that to your taste. So here I have a basic preset that actually is not using the filters. So you can hear it's quite harsh, and in a lot of situations that's okay. But right now I just wanted to show you how a basic low pass would work. So you can hear it's taking away a lot of those upper harmonics. And in basically every synth, the great thing is you can automate this cutoff. So if you want that kind of wah sound, there's a lot of ways to do that. Now it's not going to be part of this video, but you can hear it kind of going back and forth as I play. And you can adjust how much is taken out. So we have it on the MG low 12, but you can put on the 6, 18, and up to 24. So this is taking away more dB as the number increases. So, and you can see the curve actually gets harsher and harsher. So you're taking away more of the upper harmonics. Let me play you going from the 6 to the 24, the same note. So I wanted to show you an example of how I use the resonance knob, and you'll probably recognize the sound. So it's the Daft Punk Da Funk sound, and this is pretty much all because of the resonance knob. You can see it loses all its character as you turn the resonance down. Now there's more to it obviously, but I just wanted to show you an example of how much it affects it by just turning up the resonance and having this peak here. So that's basically it. I hope you learned a little bit in this video, and just remember that filters are there to take away certain frequencies, and they could be adjusted basically any way you want them. There's a lot of different options for filters, and at the beginning it's really better to stay with basic types of filters. In another video I might show all the different types of filters that Serum offers, but this is more about getting you to understand that certain frequencies are taking away and that this can really benefit your sound design. Play around with certain filters, the low pass, the high pass, and see what kind of sounds you get. You may find yourself adjusting a lot, and that's great. The point is to really learn about these things and see how they work in your music. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.